Welcome to the third video in this series on getting more customers to your restaurant. Today, I'll show you how to convert first-time customers at your restaurant into loyal, lifelong patrons with a few advanced strategies. Once again, I'm Brian Castle, and I've got a lot in store for you today, so let's get right into it. Now, before we dig in, let's recap what you learned in the previous two videos. In video 1, you learned how customers overwhelmingly turn to the web when searching for restaurants to try. So you know that your web presence is truly a make or break piece of your marketing. In video 2, I taught you the essential pieces of your web presence that turn it into a customer magnet for your restaurant. And you can go back to these first two videos if you need to revisit them. Now here in video 3, we're going to get into a few advanced tactics to help your restaurant absolutely thrive on the web over the long term. In today's video, we're going to start by looking at how to make sure that your restaurant shows up when people search for it online. That means showing up in Google, but also a few other very important places. Then I'll show you how you can turn new visitors into loyal, lifelong patrons of your restaurant using email marketing. After that, we'll look at boosting profits by adding online ordering to automate takeout and delivery orders. And finally, we'll look at a few ways that you can use forms on your website to turn it into a workhorse for your restaurant. Now, before we can get into building customer loyalty, let's come back to how customers are finding your restaurant in the first place. More often than not, they're finding you through a Google search. Back in video 1, I touched on how heavily customers rely on Google to search for restaurants. Now let me teach you exactly how to optimize for a higher ranking in Google. This process is called search engine optimization, also known as SEO. When we talk about SEO, we're mainly talking about improving your ranking when people type into the search box on google.com. But today, Google is used in many other places besides just the website google.com. In video 1, I talked about how prevalent maps are. Well, the vast majority of those are powered by Google. So on the local level, optimizing your restaurant for search is even more about making sure that it shows up when searching on Google Maps. That means ensuring the pin drops in the correct location and with accurate information when it pops up. And of course, Google is integrated into mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. So when customers use their iPhone or Android device to search for your restaurant, it's critically important that your website is mobile optimized. If you remember back in video 2, I talked about optimizing your mobile website using responsive design. Well, Google now actually gives preference to sites that are properly optimized for mobile using responsive design. So this is why Google search optimization and mobile website optimization really go hand in hand. Now, is Google search optimization something that can be achieved overnight? No. It can take several weeks or months to begin seeing real results. That's why I always recommend that new restaurants start their website sooner rather than later, before even opening, to get this process started. Now, when it comes to ranking highly in Google search, there isn't just one button that you can press to magically make that happen. Search optimization is impacted from a mix of different factors. Luckily, they're not all that difficult to implement. But it's important that your restaurant tackles all of these in order to have the best possible chance of ranking highly against your competition. The first factor is your website itself. The design, the code, the organization of your pages and navigation, all of these should be optimized. Now, this is largely done by your web designer or web design company, so it's important that whoever you go with is well versed in all of today's best practices. Remember back in video 2, I showed you the difference between a mobile website and a mobile app. Well, it's your mobile website that will have a major impact on search optimization. Having a mobile app, on the other hand, for example, an app that could be listed in the Apple App Store or Android App Store, doesn't really do anything to help your search ranking, because technically a mobile app is not your website. But having a mobile optimized website does go a long way to capturing new visitors who are searching for you on a smartphone or tablet. The next factor happens away from your website, and that is being active on social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and especially Google+. Regularly posting updates on these networks and building a strong following on social media gives Google a signal that your restaurant is trustworthy, so it tends to help your search rankings. The next factor is to make sure that you're listed in all of the major local directories, such as Yelp, Urban Spoon, and a variety of others. This includes Google's local business listings, which can help you show up on Google Maps and elsewhere within Google's search interface. It's important that all of your information across all of these listings is accurate, consistent, and up to date. And finally, it's important that you're regularly posting fresh, updated content to your website. This can be in the form of new event promotions, blog posts, YouTube videos, photo galleries, or even just changing your menu specials. Google can track how recently a website has been updated, and it tends to rank the more recent stuff higher up. Now, you know that there are two ways to increase your bottom line for your restaurant: attract more new customers and increase repeat visits per customer, or increase customer lifetime value. Now, I already showed you how optimizing your website can attract more new customers. Now let's look at that second piece, turning those customers into loyal, lifelong patrons. And what's the best way to do that? Email marketing. Why email marketing? Most people associate email with spam or think that email is so old school that it's not even relevant anymore. Well, the fact is, email is still the most powerful tool that you have when it comes to building customer loyalty. In fact, email is probably even more relevant today than ever before. Email is a great way to build trust with your customers and build a relationship with them long after they leave your restaurant. With email, you have your customers' full attention. Facebook posts and other social media are great for building buzz, but it's very easy for those posts to just fly by your customers and go unnoticed. Most social posts don't even fall on their radar, even if they already follow you on Facebook. But when you send your customer an email and it lands in their inbox, they always look at it. They may not read every single email you send them, and that's okay, but at least they see the subject line and potentially open it and see your message. The third reason why email is so powerful is perhaps the most important, and that is you completely own your email marketing. You get to choose exactly what you want to send customers, when you want to send it. You make the rules. Does that mean that you should spam your customers and share their personal information? Of course not. We would never recommend this. Just like any other relationship, you have to treat your relationship with your email subscribers with care. So you know email marketing is effective for building those relationships with customers. But what should you actually send to your email subscribers? Well, here are some tips. You should try to send to your subscribers at least once per month. You want to stay at the top of their minds and stay relevant. If you go several months without sending at least one email newsletter, then they'll probably forget about you. And then the next time that you do send to them, they won't recognize your name and they're most likely to unsubscribe. Another idea to send in email newsletters is, of course, a promotion or a coupon or some kind of incentive to take action. These are really powerful for getting customers out of their email inbox and then walking into your restaurant for a repeat visit. You can describe new menu specials. Talk about the recipes, talk about the ingredients, where they came from, the inspiration behind your menu. Promote upcoming events. Great way to get the word out and boost those attendance on those weekend events at your restaurant. And finally, tell a story and personalize it. That really goes a long way to making that personal connection with your customers. Now, how do you get customers to actually join your email list in the first place? And how do you grow your email list over time? Well, here are a few tips for that. Use MailChimp.com. That's the email service provider that we use and we recommend restaurants use to grow their subscriber base and then send those email newsletters. They have a very generous free plan too. Add a sign-up box on your website. So when new visitors come to your website, there should be a box for them to be able to enter their email to be automatically added to your email subscriber list. And then integrate that with online ordering if you have online ordering on your website. That way, you can send email newsletters and ongoing promotions to customers who have previously purchased from you. You want to promote your email list offline in your restaurant using things like promotional cards placed on tables or perhaps inserted with the check. And finally, perhaps the most important is to offer an incentive for customers to join your email list. That could be some kind of coupon or promotion or access to special recipes, some kind of benefit for joining your list. Now let's talk about how you can boost profits by adding online ordering. If your restaurant relies heavily on takeout or delivery service, then this is really worth considering. Restaurants who add online ordering typically see an increase in overall sales of 25%. Why? Online ordering encourages more items per order. With cross-sells and easy navigation of your menu, customers can add multiple items to their order. Online ordering also encourages more repeat orders because customers can simply come back, log in, and within one click, they can reorder the same thing that they ordered last week or the week before without having to choose all of their favorite items again and again. They're all saved in just one click. That means more repeat orders, and that shows up directly in your bottom line. It also contributes to higher customer loyalty. Customers are more likely to come back again and again and also recommend your restaurant to their friends and family when online ordering makes it so easy for them to order. So here's how online ordering actually works. A customer browses your menu on your website, and then they select their favorite items and add them to their cart, just like they're shopping on any other website. They can select their options, choose optional upsells, or add special instructions, and then they confirm their order. At that point, the order is then received in your restaurant with either an automated phone call, a fax, an email, or it can even be sent to a receipt printer. Payment can then be made online via credit card or in person at the time of pickup or delivery. Okay, now I know I gave you a lot to think about when it comes to upgrading your web presence for your restaurant. Now the question is, how can you put all this stuff into action right now in your business without getting sidetracked from your busy schedule of running your operation? Well, you can go out and search for a local web designer to hire, but the cost for this can be substantial. The average cost to hire a professional web designer to create your website is in the $3,000 to $5,000 range or more. And that doesn't even include the cost of web hosting or ongoing maintenance and support, which is usually subject to their hourly rate. Then there's the question of reliability. How do you know that they can do the job that you hired them for? Now, as a former web design consultant myself, I can tell you there are no money-back guarantees. And that's why we do what we do here at Restaurant Engine, to help your restaurant thrive on the web and attract more customers without spending an arm and a leg. So here's why our customers all over the world use Restaurant Engine to power their online presence. We help restaurants just like yours get a professionally designed web presence using all of today's best practices. Everything that I talked about in this series of videos, from the essential elements like your online food menus to the advanced tactics like search and mobile optimization, it's all built in when your site is powered by Restaurant Engine. We make the process entirely turnkey, from the initial design and launch to the web hosting and ongoing support. It's all included. We're small business friendly. That means that our packages cost just a fraction of what you'd pay a local web designer. Our support is always included at no extra cost. And we actually know our customers by name. And yes, of course, we offer a money-back guarantee. Now let me show you how our 5-day setup process works. It starts when you open your account, which you can do anytime by going to restaurantengine.com/signup. From there, we'll ask you to provide a few basic details about your restaurant so that we can get started. Then you can send along your food menu and anything else that you'd like us to include. Our professional web designers get right to work on custom tailoring your new website. Within 5 days, we'll send you the link to review and give us any feedback. When you're ready, we'll connect your own domain name and make your new website live. Have an old website that you're ready to redo? Even better, we can take all of the content from there and import it into your new and improved design on Restaurant Engine. Still in the process of gathering up your materials like your food menu and photos? No problem. You can still get started today with just the basics. In the short term, we can get a basic version of your site launched. Then we can add the rest whenever you're ready. And we get asked this a lot. After my site goes live, how are ongoing updates handled? Well, you'll never have to worry about the technical upkeep of your website. All of the software updates and ongoing improvements are handled by us behind the scenes. But how about routine updates like changing a few menu items, specials, adding new photos, or changing some content? We can handle all of those updates for you as well. Just send them our way and our team will update your site within 2 business days, often same day. And this is at no extra charge. It's like having your own in-house web team without paying an hourly rate. Or of course, you can always log into your dashboard and make changes yourself anytime. We've got tutorials available and our team is always here to answer any questions. Here's what Kanan from Fillmore Pizza had to say. I had the smoothest experience from start to finish. Restaurant Engine had my website running in no time. I could not believe that opening a website would be so easy. And the product is just superb. Thanks, Restaurant Engine. Learn more about how we can help your restaurant attract more customers by joining our next live workshop. You can get all of your questions answered during our live Q&A. Register for free by going to restaurantengine.com/workshop. Or get started today and have your new web presence launched by next weekend. You can get started by going to restaurantengine.com/signup. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.